And, when my late husband and I, back in the day, way back, we started out, he had a dream, and we worked towards that dream. He loved hamburgers. That's all he loved. And that's what he wanted. He wanted his own place. But nobody in this world would have ever, if they had told us that it would have been that successful and that big, we'd have told them no. We just wanted a family thing. And it just got out of hand. But but by being successful, once you're successful, you have an obligation to take care of it and to help other people less fortunate than you. Well, we kind of chose children. Children is what I know. And so and my husband was adopted. That's why they started Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption. And yes, I have done a lot of different things. I've tried to keep my hand in with all the charities, mostly involving children, because that's our future, and that's where we're all going to be one day. We need to count on our children because they will be supporting us. Thank you, Neko. I don't know how I got into this, but I want to thank you and all the honorees here tonight. I just feel very privileged to be in this company. Thank you.
And thank you. Our next medalist is a very special man. He played a very unique role in our global security. Ron Noble is the first American citizen ever to head Interpol, the prestigious international law enforcement agency which serves 190 countries worldwide. Now, he must have been very good at his job because he was reelected by the General Assembly for 3 consecutive 5-year terms. Now, during Secretary General Noble's leadership, Interpol developed the first global police communication system, now as part of its screening process for terrorists and high-level criminals. Since leaving Interpol, he has been knighted by the Vatican, was named to France's Legion of Honor, and the U.S. Department of Defense awarded him their highest honors. Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased to honor him tonight. Ron Noble.
Honorable Chairman and dear friend Nasser Kazemini, distinguished members of the Board of Directors and the Advisory Committee, my dear family, ladies and gentlemen, fellow honorees. My late father served this country in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. A black American man, he met my mother, a white German woman, in war-torn Germany, where they fell in love, were married, and gave birth to my brother James. Then 60 years ago, they came to the U.S. via Ellis Island. I was born not far from here in Fort Dix, New Jersey. While growing up, my brother and I spent our time going to school, playing team sports, and working with our father in his janitorial business. We cleaned offices with him, after school, on weekends, and during the summer. Back then, my big dream was that one day my father's janitorial trucks would read Noble and Sons Janitorial Service. But my father and mother had other dreams for me. when we would clean the offices of lawyers and doctors, my father would point to their university degrees and say, "Ronnie, one day, after you finish college, you will have people like me working for you." He was right. For over 30 years, I've had exceptional people like him working for me and with me in the U.S. Federal Courthouse and U.S. Attorney's Office in Philadelphia, at the U.S. Justice and Treasury Departments in Washington, D.C., at NYU Law School, at Interpol headquarters in France and offices around the world, and now at my company, Arcan Global, in Dubai and Slovakia. Extraordinary professionals, brave U.S. law enforcement officers, and dedicated Interpol officials have worked for me and with me for over 30 years to make this world a better and safer place for us all. When I was cleaning offices with my father and brother, I never could have imagined that one day I would be honored alongside such distinguished fellow recipients of the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. But I know that right now, my father, Master Sergeant James L. Noble Sr., is smiling from up above and thinking that the dream he and his beloved wife, Rosemary, had for their sons could only have come true in America. Once again, he is right. Thank you. May God bless all of you. May God bless America.
Ellis Island to me is so much history. You know, immigrants, that was the first stop when they're coming from all over the world. To me, represent freedom and opportunity. I have received a lot of honors, yes, but this one is a little bit different. This one is for something that not too many have the opportunity to receive. But I'm gonna be in the middle of a lot of people that have done the same thing in different areas, you know, but together we have accomplished what we came here to do.
As we flash back, it's a reminder how each and every year is such a special night and always a memorable experience, as it was Mariano Rivera was here last year. Let's proceed.
Carl Peterson. Carl Peterson is the former president, general manager, and CEO of the Kansas City Chiefs. He is a longtime advocate of youth football and has served on the board of the NFL Youth Football Fund, which supports the health and safety of youth athletes. Shervin Pishavar. Shervin Pishavar is a managing director at Sherpa Ventures. He travels domestically and abroad to support nonprofit organizations such as the Malala Fund, PARS Equality Center, and the UN Foundation. Vincent Pitta. Vincent Pitta is the managing partner at Pitta & Giblin LLP, concentrating his practice in labor and management relations in both the private and public sectors. He is pro bono counsel to numerous charitable, civic, and professional organizations. Lori Pollock. Deputy Chief Lori Pollock is a senior executive member of the NYPD. In her 29 years, she's served in various assignments from patrol officer to supervisory positions. Jean Lenti Ponsetto. Jean Lenti Ponsetto is the Director of Athletics for DePaul University, a title she's carried for 14 years. She and the Blue Demons have experienced tremendous success, both on and off the field, with academic achievements as well as playing in the Big East Conference. Isam Rad. Dr. Isam Rad is a leading expert in the field of cancer infections. He has made numerous outstanding clinical research contributions, leading to significant improvements in controlling life-threatening infections for patients with cancer and other illnesses worldwide. Daniel Ritchie. Daniel Ritchie is the chairman for the Denver Center for the Performing Arts. He spent nearly 30 years with Westinghouse Broadcasting and currently serves as president of the Temple Hohenbuel Foundation, which focuses on early childhood education and development. Caitlin Roig DeBellis. Caitlin Roig DeBellis is the founder and executive director of Classes for Classes, a social networking tool for every student in the United States to learn compassion and caring through active engagement. She was one of the heroic teachers at Sandy Hook Elementary. Peter Salovey. Peter Salovey is the 23rd president of Yale University and the Chris Argyris Professor of Psychology. He has authored and edited over a dozen books, journal articles, and essays focused primarily on human emotion and health behavior.
Akaraju Sarma. Dr. Akaraju Sarma helped establish the Telugu Association of North America, an organization aimed at identifying and addressing social, cultural, and educational needs of the North American Telugu community. Michael Saldino. Sheriff Michael Saldino is a 42-year veteran of law enforcement. As sheriff, he began a countrywide Chief for a Day program, which grants the wish of terminally ill children to tour police facilities and get hands-on experience in law enforcement. Edward Schauder. Edward Schauder is an attorney with extensive experience building and protecting sports properties while raising money for numerous worthy charities. He often works pro bono to support women's rights, first responders, and other important causes.
Masih Taibbi. Dr. Masih Taibbi is a founding partner as well as the chairman of Bridge West Group. Dr. Taibbi and his wife created a scholarship to support the education of children in need in many of the premier schools around the world and have generously donated to local and international cultural centers.
Edward Tom. Edward Tom is the founder and principal of the Bronx Center for Science and Mathematics High School, a small college preparatory in the South Bronx. In 2008, his hands-on leadership style was featured in the PBS documentary, Whatever It Takes. Emmanuel Velavasakis. Emmanuel Velavasakis is a managing principal and board member of Thornton Tomasetti Group, an internationally acclaimed architectural engineering firm. His design firm has completed the structural design of some of the world's tallest buildings, including the Taipei Financial Center.
Our next medalist is who I'm going to call up here, and he's a dear friend and a colleague. I'm introduce a man. He's been visiting all of us for so many years at breakfast. Bill Evans is the senior meteorologist for WABC TV here in New York. He's a 40-year broadcasting veteran. He's appeared on ABC's Good Morning America and ESPN Sports Center. He's active in children's philanthropy. He has also been honored by the Museum of American Armor. He has become a national voice in educating us to the dangers of severe weather, and is also a successful author of several novels that, not surprisingly, feature the weather as a main character. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Evans. Thanks for the sun.
Marvin, you're always way too kind. Right now it's partly cloudy and 54 degrees. I am just moved beyond words to accept this award this evening. But I only do so on behalf of the millions of Americans who recognize, embrace their immigrant roots. We are meeting this evening at a sacred place, Ellis Island. Its walls still echo with the sounds of hundreds of languages, dialects, and accents. It still holds the spirit and the spirits of men and women and children who arrived here with little more than a dream and an extraordinary work ethic. It remains the epicenter of our American democracy. Now, my family did not come here when they left Wales around 1850. There was no Ellis Island to welcome them. In researching my immigrant roots of the Evans clan, I found that, much to my surprise, there was not one meteorologist among them. Rather, they were farmers seeking to escape poverty. They made their way to Meridian, Mississippi, where my great-great-great-grandfather, George Evans, helped settle the town. At one point, nearly half of the folks in the Meridian phone book had my last name. Although I suspect not every Evans in town could afford to even own a phone. But whether your family walked these halls or arrived before or after this port and came to this port of call, it served its function. Every citizen has a connection here, and every American should consider themselves a descendant of immigrants in search of a better life. NECO's annual awards program allows all of us to pause and reflect on who we are as individuals and who we are within the larger family of our American mosaic. It provides an opportunity to pause in our hectic lives and salute not just only those of us who sit here in the Great Hall, but all who came before us and all of those yet to arrive. Men, women, and children seeking the freedom and opportunity that only this exceptional nation can provide. Thank you, Chairman Casbini, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Our next speaker is Alexander Navab. Alexander Navab is the head of America's private equity business at KKR, a pioneer in the private equity industry. Mr. Navab believes very strongly in giving back and is actively involved in philanthropic, educational, and national organizations. Some of those organizations are New York Presbyterian Hospital, the Robin Hood Foundation, Columbia College, and one organization very close to his heart is the Hellenic Initiative, a nonprofit supporting the renewal of the Greek economy via entrepreneurship and investment. I'm pleased to introduce to you Alexander Navab.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for this great honor. This is truly the greatest honor I've ever received in my life, and it's a recognition that I accept with humility because I'm surrounded this evening by such distinguished honorees. And these honorees who truly illustrate for all of us what it really means to persevere, celebrate their ancestry while exemplifying the values of American life. For me, this award, though, is really to honor my parents, Dr. Ali Navab and Tina Armanakis Navab, who are here with us tonight. Please stand.